safe, man. Might not be my blood, but you my little bro. Care about you, so I really gotta let you know. The streets foul, man, gotta reap what you sow. There's grown men out here grown, I never grow. Lil' bro, might not be my blood, but you my little bro. Care about you, so I really gotta let you know. The streets foul, man, gotta reap what you sow. There's grown men out here grown, that never grow. Lil' bro, turn on the news, another kid got shot. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of How to Beat the Streets podcast. Oh, man. We live right now, too, so shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I appreciate all the support so far. You know we're going to keep people coming in here to drop gems for the community. Now, today I got a very special guest in the building, community activist, entrepreneur, mother, philanthropist. And it's funny when I say that word. I've been practicing that word all day. You know what I mean? I know the word, but when I was like thinking about her and everything she do, I was trying to find the right word, and that was the one, but I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie, before I got on camera, wondering if I said it correctly. But if you look the word up, you know, sometimes I got some middle schoolers that tune into the show. So if you look the word up, philanthropist, it says a person who donates time, money, experience, skills, or talents to help create a better world. So that definitely describes my guest. Without further ado, you know what I mean? Everybody show some love to the dreamer. What's going on? What's up? How you feeling today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you. So here on the show, we always get started with a quote. The quote we got for you today is, "The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members." What does that quote mean to you? How does it resonate? Let's hear it.
To me, it means like everybody in that community is caring for one another and looking after one another. Unfortunately, we live in a day and time when people are very selfless and they don't care to help others. But as for myself, that's something that I don't mind doing. But that's the definition, and that's what it means to me.
That's dope. And when I think about you, right, I was like, man, in a world where it seems like, you know, most people just care about self, like you was mentioning, what makes you care about people, care about the community? Because that's different.
But I love to help others, and as you all know, this organization is ran by both me and my 8-year-old daughter, Dreamer Daisy.
Oh.
And she is one that loves to give back and help others. Like every time she sees like a homeless person on the street, she asks me if I have change, which I never carry cash, but she enjoys giving back, and I love to help people, just to put smiles on people's faces, and you know, just to know that I did a good deed. It makes me feel very good.
All right. And so what's the name of your organization? And how did you guys get started?
The name of the organization, it's La Dreamer and Daisy Help Enhance Foundation, Inc. We originally started in 2018. We started giving away pre-assembled backpacks to the children in the community. It was like 75 to maybe 100. In 2020, we became an actual nonprofit. And ever since then, it's been up. We increased our book bag donations to 200 to 250 backpacks a year. We
That's
do
dope.
back to school events. We feed families, children's. You name it, we do it pretty much. It's just us two, but we still get the job done.
Wow. I should have. I wanted to ask you to bring your daughter up here too, but I told I was making a joke off camera. Like, you know what? We're gonna bring her up for her own separate interview. You know what I mean? Because what was the show that y'all was on? Like, it was you and her, and it was dope, and she was talking. I think she captured the whole crowd.
She won them over. We was on the Drew Barrymore show this year, January of this year,
That's
and
dope.
being recognized for our efforts in the Harlem community.
So how did they choose you? How did they reach
actually
out?
scouted us because last year we were New Yorkers of the Week with Spectrum New York One, and they found us on their website. That's what I was told. And then they reached out to us, did a quick interview to see if we were comfortable speaking on television. We passed that with flying colors, and then they called us to be on the show.
Wow.
And they gifted us $15,000 from the company Silverts.
Okay, all right. You're making Harlem look good, man. That's what's up. Something else I wanted to talk to you about was I was watching the news the other day. Matter of fact, the other day, it was like last year, and I seen your face come across the news. Was that the giving away the backpacks event you was talking about? Or was that something different? I think
Jesus
it was around
Christ.
Easter.
So we were been on the news maybe 3 to 4 times. It might have been Easter. It might have been Thanksgiving, actually, when we were New Yorkers of the Week, because they actually showed me and Daisy shopping in Party City.
Nice.
But the last time when we were there for the Easter egg hunt, they didn't show us, but they featured all the children and everything that we usually do for the community. So it probably was the Thanksgiving event.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, before we even go any further, I'm bugging. We gonna do this the right way. What's your name and where you from?
My name is La Dreamer. Everybody calls me Dreamer, and my daughter name is Dreamer Daisy. And we're both from Harlem.
Gotta drop the bomb for Harlem. Let's see what's going on. What's what high school did you go to?
I went to FDA, the infamous Frederick Douglass Academy, Title One High School.
Salute the FDA, man. I went to Rice for like 3 years. Unfortunately, I got kicked out. And then I went to Thurgood Marshall Academy. But I always think of like the top three schools during that era, maybe like the '05 to
Yeah.
2010 era, was Rice, Thurgood Marshall Academy, and also FDA. But I'm trying to think.
Randolph
Watley,
too.
Randolph.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be like, hold on, my school was da da da. But I still think the top three, we think about the west side of
Yeah,
Harlem
yeah.
during that period was Rice, Thurgood, and FDA. So how far did you take education?
So I graduated from FTA, of course, high school degree. I got my associate's degree in human services from the Metropolitan College of New York, and I'm now continuing my education at Monroe College, getting my bachelor's in public health.
Nice, nice. So what you want to do with that?
I don't know. I'm still kind of lost.
It's funny because I always ask that question because, like, as a teacher myself, when I'm working with some of the middle schoolers that I taught, they're now high schoolers,
Yeah.
and I always ask them like, "What you want to major?" in?" And they always say, "I don't know." And I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel like that's one of the things that all of us before going to college we need to like fully think about because I think life moves at a much faster pace if you choose something and you know exactly what you're gonna do with it and then what you're gonna do after.
But to piggyback off of that too, sometimes we go to school and we don't end up in the field that we have our degree in. So that's another thing as well. In the
Right.
past, I wanted to be an ophthalmologist, study different diseases and how they come about, but I don't foresee that happening. So, but to each his own.
All right. Now, when you was in that high school stage or like in your younger years, did were you doing anything that kind of aligned to what you're doing now? Have you always wanted to be like someone who helped the community, or was there a certain moment in your life that made you like, you know what, I want to go in this direction?
Pretty much, and FDA, absolutely not, because we was busy worried about getting dressed in Harlem Shaking. So, but
You had
as
to
I
show this.
yeah, I have to stick. They used to call me D Light, Dream Light.
Hey.
But as I got older, and then I had my daughter in 2015, that's when I felt the need to give back to the community, pretty much.
All right. Now, growing up in Harlem, the name of the show is called How to Beat the Streets. Like, I know you wasn't in the streets or nothing like that on some gangster, rah rah. But being someone from New York City, period, it's a lot of different things we just face as New Yorkers. So, like, tell us a little bit about a rough circumstance just growing up in Harlem that you was able to like overcome.
Well, I am from Taft Projects. No secret. I live in Esplanade Gardens now. Everybody knows that. But as you can see, it's a big transformation. But growing up in Taft, we was exposed to a lot. You would see the drug dealers, the killings, the shootings, the stabbings on a daily basis. Thank God I've never been in that situation on my family as well. But just to see that was a goal for me to want to do more in life and to, not be or not take the route that the others took or some of my friends did. Because a lot of my friends, females, were in the streets just running crazy. So, but thank God I didn't, take that route.
Now, for the high schoolers that do watch this show, how are you able to have all of those things around you and still not want to become, what you see?
Because I have a goal in line. I come from a prominent family of, we have doctors, nurses. My Uncle James, he's a psychologist, and I kind of follow his pattern a little bit. That's what I honestly wanted to be. But just following chain of command pretty much. I feel like training starts at home. I know you can't, when the child leaves the house, like you don't know how they are. Because I always say it about my daughter. I would never say she didn't do X, Y, and Z because they're different people when they're outside of the home. But raise your child up the way they should go. And if you teach them different values and install them at a young age, they will follow suit pretty much.
Okay. Now, so I always talk a lot about ownership. Like for me, growing up in Harlem, just like you, I seen a lot. I've been through a lot. My family been through a lot. But it was a moment in my life where I had to like take ownership of my life and just realize what life is really about. That moment for me was like I came back home at my freshman year of college and summer jam was happening that Sunday, but the guys in my neighborhood was all playing basketball that day too. So I got the text message, yo, come to the court, play ball. I actually went to summer jam instead of playing basketball, and the court ended up getting shot up, and like two of my friends got grazed, and then one of my like he was like a mentor to me. He got killed that day. So from that moment, I don't know, like when I went back and I was in my dorm room, I don't know, just the way my dorm looked felt different. The college campus, I was just much more grateful to be there. And that was the moment where I just like, okay, this is my life. I'm taking ownership and I'm moving the right way from this moment forward. Did you have a moment like that?
Honestly, no, but we have to use, I know everybody's young and they easily influenced by social media in the streets, but we have to use common sense. You know, if you're with a crowd of people and they're not good people, something is bound to happen. Go with your first instinct. If something is telling you to make a left instead of going right, make that left. If something is telling you to stay home, be with your family, just be with your family. You don't have to always be outside. It's okay to miss an event or two.
Facts.
It's totally normal, but just know, just follow your instinct and use common sense pretty much.
Thank you. Now, I was, just before you came, I was watching a few of your interviews, and you had a story that was very touching to me, and I was like, man, I was trying to find the right way to like, I'm trying to be the next Charlemagne the God or whoever's. I say Joe Budden's a little bit. I rock with Joe,
He's
but
pretty good.
I was trying to find a nice way, yeah, to kind of get you to unpack that particular situation. You smiling, so I know you know what I'm talking about. Can
Yeah.
you talk about that a little bit?
And honestly, I've always been comfortable speaking about my situation because somebody might be going through the same thing that I went through, and I could be like a blessing or opportunity for them to speak about their situation. But
I believe in that.
nevertheless, in 2017, I was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, which is a nerve disease. Just think of a white phone cord and the wire around it is just being eaten off day by day. So that's something that I do have. Some days are good, some days are bad. In 2018, I did have a minor stroke. My right side never fully recovered. I did occupational therapy, physical therapy. I was out of work for some time, as you can imagine. But what honestly prompted me to start helping hands was being out of work and then having all of my family come through and help situate and provide resources and help out with Little Dreamer. After seeing that, that's what made me like, put the pedal to the metal, and I'm like, we have to do something for our community because there's somebody out there like me, well, regardless if it's they're suffering from MS or not, that needs help and need resources. So that's how everything pretty much unfolded.
Thank you for sharing. And so on a rough day, you mentioned like some days are good, some days are bad. Like, what do like some of the rough days look like?
So I suffer from like these very, very bad acute migraines. I done did like 1,001 different medications, self injections, and nothing seems to be working. Um, but when I say it's bad, like the migraines, of course, but sometimes too, when I sneeze, like my entire right side just get paralyzed for like maybe 1 to 3 minutes.
Wow.
But I have a daughter and I have to keep pushing. So
So having a daughter, I was gonna ask you that too. So when times get rough, like what keeps you motivated and keeps you
it's her,
moving?
of course, because she has to get to school. The homework has to be done. My baby has to be fed. Life goes on. That's how I look at it. Of course, everybody doesn't, but I have that village. I have all of my family that always usually come through and help out and offer to help pick her up. So, and I have that luxury, thank God.
Speaking of kids, right? I'm a father as well.
Mhm.
I know for a lot of people, kids can be that particular moment in life where they start going downhill, or for some people they start going uphill. So, for thinking about you, like, do you think that having kids is something that takes people to the next level as far as maturity, development, or do you think like, nah, you probably shouldn't, come this way because it could have you broke or it could have you, losing a lot of personal time. What is your advice on having kids? And I like talking about this topic because for me, I think so many people be rushing to have kids and all that. And I think when I was young as a guy, I used to play like that too. And I had girls that I really liked, like, yeah, you're gonna have my baby. But now that I have them, I'm like, this is what people have been doing. Like you mentioned it, the drop off, the pickup, the homework, the just the character development, like the work that it takes. So, what's your take on that?
Everybody is different. When I had Little Dreamer, it made me level up. It made me mature. Had to put on my big girl pants and be like, this, it is what it is. She's here. I have to be her mother. I have to take care of her. Everybody's situation is different. Financially, we always been okay. I always had a good job. I work at Lennox Hill Hospital. There I was working in the ER at the time, but now I got promoted to a project manager in June.
Salute.
So we've been okay. Like I said, everybody's situation is different. I wouldn't recommend that you rush. Some people think that having a kid with somebody just to trap them doesn't make them stay.
Doesn't make them
I mean, it
stay.
doesn't make them stay, and you doing more harm than good. But if I feel like if you're ready, kids are a blessing. A lot of people can't have children. So, I mean, if you can and you can provide and you're there day in, day out, then kudos to you. But honestly, I am one and done.
I ain't even have to ask the next question. Now, can you just give the moms out there who might be struggling? I see you doing your thing, and I feel like you don't have to talk about it. Your kid is gonna show that you doing your thing. Especially as a teacher, I can speak on that because I can tell, the kids that are well taken care of. Like they intellect, they raising their hand, they're confident, they not trying to be like no one else. And I'm always, shocked when I see a 12-year-old, 13-year-old who's like a leader
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not,
yeah.
following the pack. But normally that's the same parent who called me like, "Yo, what's up with the homework on Friday?" Like it wasn't in her book bag. Like I'm
Yeah,
like, "Oh, that's." So if you
that's
could
me.
give the three tips or two tips to the moms out there that might be struggling, like how can you raise a successful young man or successful young lady?
It's honestly, it's no manual, first of all. So when people tell you have to do something this, that, or the other way, there's no right or wrong, pretty much. Because, like I said, everybody's situation is different. But honestly, just keep going. Just remember that there's a goal in life. And success is measured on the outcome of the person you either helped or the child that you're raising. If you see that your child is doing the right thing, they're going the right way, you know that as a parent, you tried your hardest. So just keep going. Don't give up on your child. And don't see this generation, they expose too much to their children. They talk to their children as if they're their friends and they cry in front of them. Never fold in front of your child.
Mm.
Never fold in front of your child. I don't care what happens, life gets rough, but just keep going. Cry at night when you're in bed by yourself, but never allow you see your child to fold because then they're going to follow suit. So those are the gems.
I like that. I appreciate that. And that takes me to thinking about the whole aspect of it takes a village, right?
It
So
does.
a lot of people use that term, this generation in quote, right? So do you think? Well, I think we all agree it does take a
It
village,
does.
but is the village still here?
I still have mine, so I can't speak. I got grandma, great grandma, aunts, uncle. Everybody is in the area. So, but I don't know, because then this generation too, the parents, the grandparents, they feel like, okay, I didn't have this kid, so they don't have to be hands on. But you shouldn't have that mentality. At the end of the day, that's your blood, that's your kin. It's not your seed, yes, but that is your grandchild.
Right.
So
Because
just
technically we are this generation kind of.
exactly,
Like we're not the youth of this generation,
exactly.
but like the new adults, we kind of in that boat. So when people say this generation of parents, it's basically us,
Yes,
So,
yes,
all right, that's crazy. And when I think about how, some of the kids are treated by their parents too, like, I always look at the dismissal, when I'm doing dismissal, how many like soon as they pick up their kid, get in the car or shut the. I'm
that's
like,
another thing
damn,
too.
you
I
just
had
seen them after school.
put up a post one day because I was dropping little Dreamer off and I was heading back home, and this mother is just like cursing her daughter out from A to Z.
Mm.
No more than 6 or 7 years old. And I'm like, how do you want your child to have a great day and you sending them to school with that bad negative energy?
Right.
Your husband didn't come home last night, it's on you. Don't take that negative energy out on the child because then they're going to go to school, be sad, and their focus is going to be on how you were screaming at them early in the morning.
Yep. That happens in the morning time, and it also happens after school too. I'm
Yeah.
like, why you not excited, like running to your child? And I'm not even. I feel like the babies normally, they get like a better vibe from the
Yeah.
parents, but I think something weird's happened when your kid is like 12 or 13 or 14. It's like, oh, now they don't get the hug no more, or
Yeah.
they don't get the
Very dismissive.
excitement. It's just like
Exactly.
I said, come in, sit down, or
Yeah.
yo, sit. Like it's just like, or it's a rush
Yeah.
type of vibe. Like, come on, and we just going. It's no
Well, when I
conversation.
pick little Dreamer up, I always check her book bag. We have this. How was your day? What did you eat for lunch? What's for homework? I mean, that's what you're supposed to do as a parent. She's only 8, so of course she's not being super duper responsible. But it's my job to make sure that her homework is complete and that I'm sitting down,
Hmm.
going through it with her, and making sure it's packed for the following day. You can't put that big responsibility on them 6, 7 year, 8 year
Right,
olds. You know.
that's true. Now, just from talking to you and looking at all of the work you do on social media, I don't know. I feel like you got a book in you, or you got a movie in you. Your life could be a movie. If it was, for an example, what would be the three key takeaways from your life story? Like if we
Um,
watching The Dreamer, I don't know what's the catchy name. Matter of fact, if you could make a catchy name for your movie, what
the
would it
dream
be?
catcher.
The Dreamcatcher. Ooh, you got the bomb on that. So we watching The Dreamcatcher right now, and we about to lead a movie. What's gonna be the three key takeaways from your movie?
Um, Adaptability, being able to change to different circumstances, growth, of course, because and growing as a person in general, because I do want to expand my reach even further. I don't want to just be here in Harlem. I just want to take it to all 5 boroughs, states, and different countries, and to be resilient. That's pretty much it.
And to be resilient. What does being resilient mean to you?
So it's like overcoming different obstacles. So if something is thrown my way and I feel like I'm unable to handle it, alternative routes pretty much, but make sure that I get the job done pretty much.
Nice. Would you say you found your purpose?
Yes.
How did you wait? How does one find their purpose?
I'm going to be, like I told you, I work for Northwell Health as a project manager. That's not the end all be all for me. My focus is.
And I say that too loud, they might be listening.
No, I love them. They honestly, they're one of my biggest supporters and donors. But I'm
Okay.
just saying, like, that's not the end all be all for me. My goal is to like expand my reach and focus on helping families and children. So like, and I get a kick out of it when people come up to me and hugging me and telling me that they see me on TV. I'm like so taken back because I feel so regular.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I did something big for somebody who might not have had the opportunity before.
Dope.
Yeah.
Putting you on segment. So this part of the show, I just want everybody that come up to just put people on to maybe a book, a movie, a podcast, a TV show, anything that kind of like puts you in a motivational mindset or just gems that you took away from this book, movie, podcast, or even a song that when I hear this song, it get me ready to like, I'm about to pass out 1,000,000 book bags today after I hear this. Like,
I'd rather go with a quote. I'm going to go with, which I always utilize, Michelle Obama's quote. She is somebody who I inspire and I idolize. She said, when they go low, you go high. And that's something to keep in mind because sometimes people, this generation is so petty and everybody's always doing tit for tat. But you don't always have to take it there. And that's something that sticks with me. Even when people try to get underneath my skin, it's just like, I'm just going to go the other way.
that's
So
dope.
that's something that always resonated with me.
When they go low,
You go high.
like that.
Yeah.
So thinking about Mama Love, man, like I always say to everybody, like, yo, having a mother is like so special, you know what I mean? Mother's Day we show a lot of love, but every day I always wake up and I'm like, damn, if my mom would have gave up on me, like I said, kicked out of Rice, I ain't have no scholarship. She was paying like $550 a month times 3 years just for me to get kicked out.
Yeah.
And we had to keep moving forward. And you mentioned that when you was talking about motherhood, like you just gotta keep it going nonstop. I think about my mother and I'm like, yo, that's really what she did. She could have been like, yo, this kid is bad, or this teacher saying this. Yo, you are that person. She never let me or society put this title on me as a bad kid or he hood or whatever. She always poured life into me and consistently talked to me about real life, real gems. And now, I'm doing my thing. So for you, what's that mama love gem that, yo, my mom told me this and it's like, yo, everybody should know this particular thing. So what's your mama love
Nothing
gem?
too crazy, but I had two moms, mom and grandma.
Oh yeah, you know that. Salute to all the grandmas in the world.
Yes, because she helps both of them. Both of them always told me to keep going. I am the first in my generation to graduate high school and college.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
That's dope.
So, but both of them, when they went to my graduation, everybody was so ecstatic, and they said, "I told you not to give up," even when those days became hard because I was pregnant with Daisy when I was graduating from college.
Oh, for
and,
real?
some days were good, some days were bad, but I still kept going, and that's my line to you all: just to keep going.
Never stop.
That's it.
I love that. I always use that quote when I'm doing music. Like, if I would have stopped, after the first song or put a video on YouTube and get a lot of views, like, I wouldn't be in this position, even, like, working with Dame Dash and doing different things like that. I feel like even the school I work in, they called me off the strength of a music video they seen. So you just never know, you know what I mean? You got to keep going. So let's end on this note, right? Right now, LaDreama is, and you finish that statement. However you want to take it.
Should I let them pass?
The volleyball team in the back.
LaDreama is so many different things. Can I give you a few?
Yeah. So just right now, LaDreama is, and then whatever you say, we taking it.
LaDreama is, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think you was gonna take it there.
Yeah, no. So I'll be putting clips together of like all of the guests, and I be saying this, and like even that, you might be like, I might put the last person, the next person, and LaDreama is. I don't know. That's still gonna work.
No, LaDreama is dedicated to her profession and helping the community.
Dope. We love that. Now, Where can they find you? Tell us about the upcoming events,
Absolutely,
everything.
because we do have a lot going on. So they can find us on Instagram at Helping Hands Foundation Inc. Our next event is going to be Thanksgiving Day, November 23rd at Abyssinian Gym. We will be feeding families. You do not have to be homeless to come sit down and eat with us. If you just want to hang out, show support, that is totally fine. So you could tell a friend to tell a friend. December 22nd, we're going to be at that same location giving away free clothes to the children in the community or families. It doesn't matter. We have adults and children clothing. December 23rd, Christmas up in Harlem, in which we'll be giving away free toys to the children in the community. We're going to have brunch. Santa Claus will be on the premises, and that's going to take place in Esplanade Gardens. January 19th, 2024 will be our first annual mental health event. It's called Harlem Minds Matter. So we're going to have like the most prominent, prestigious doctors in the building speaking on mental health and giving away. We have giveaways as well too, and also providing resources for the communities. Mental health is something that's downplayed in our community, and I just want to raise awareness and provide support. So this will be our first time doing it. It's going to take place at Al Sharpton's National Action Network, 145th and Lenox Avenue, January 19th from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this was a powerful interview. I hope you learned a lot. I sure learned a lot. I'm ready to be more active in my community based on everything, that she's doing. And we just want to thank you, on behalf of the How to Beat the Streets Network and New York City community. I'm speaking for the NYC, man. We need more people like you out here on a serious note. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for coming to the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
This one goes out to all the little bros out there. Y'all be safe, man. Might not be my blood, but you my little bro. Care about you, so I really gotta let you know. The streets foul, man, gotta reap what you sow. There's grown men out here grown, I never grow, lil' bro. Might not be my blood, but you my little bro. Care about you, so I really gotta let you know. The streets foul, man, gotta reap what you sow. There's grown men out here grown, that never grow, lil' bro. Turn on the news, another kid got shot. Hey, YouTube, Hassan said he rocks a snap box. Damn, that could've been you, could've been me. You only 12, what you doing with the Henny? Gimme.